It's 2 a.m. You're lying in the dark, staring at the ceiling, and every cell in your body is aching for one specific person. Not just company, not just warmth, them. And you're lying there thinking, what is wrong with me? Nothing. Nothing is wrong with you. Your brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. The problem is, it was built for a world that disappeared long before your grandparents were born. Here's what's actually happening inside your skull at 2 a.m. Your prefrontal cortex, that's the part of your brain that says, don't send that text, has basically clocked out for the night. Impulse control, rational thinking, the ability to talk yourself out of a terrible decision at midnight, all of that is run by this one region. And right now, it's dark, it's not tired, it's off. Cortisol, the hormone that keeps your emotions in check during the day, is at its absolute lowest point right now. And the amygdala, your brain's panic button, is now running the show completely unsupervised. So basically, the security guard left and a fire alarm with anxiety is in charge of the building. Researchers call this the mind after midnight hypothesis. Dr. Andrew Tubbs published it in 2022. And the idea is wild? Your brain was never supposed to be awake right now. Being conscious during the biological night puts your brain in a completely different operating state. Less impulse control, more emotional reactivity, and a measurable bias toward negative thoughts, meaning your brain is actively choosing to show you the worst stuff first. You are, neurologically speaking, the most defenseless version of yourself right now. And that's not even the weird part. In 2003, a neuroscientist named Naomi Eisenberger at UCLA did something beautifully cruel. She put people inside an fMRI machine and had them play a video game, a simple ball tossing game called cyberball. Then, without warning, the other players stopped throwing them the ball. They were excluded, ignored, left out, and the brain's scans lit up. Not in the, oh, that's unpleasant parts of the brain. In the pain parts. The same regions, the same exact neural real estate that fire when you break a bone. Your brain looked at social rejection and physical injury and said, same thing. And honestly, it wasn't wrong. Your brain literally cannot tell the difference between a broken arm and a broken heart. It runs both on the same hardware, same wires, same circuits, same response. And here's the part that still messes with me. In a follow-up study, they gave participants Tylenol, painkiller, for social rejection. It worked. The neural response to being excluded actually went down. Your brain treats loneliness like a wound because, evolutionarily speaking, it was one. But that's not why the craving gets so specific at night. Here's where it shifts from pain to something darker. Dr. Helen Fisher at Rutgers has spent decades scanning the brains of people in love. And what she found is, honestly, your ex should probably be classified as a controlled substance. Romantic attachment doesn't run on the emotion circuits of your brain. It runs on the addiction circuits. The same dopamine pathways that light up for cocaine. Not a metaphor. The same pathways, same chemical, same brain regions with names so long they sound like spell incantations, same obsessive, all-consuming need for the sex hit. And here's where it gets really nasty. When Fisher scanned people who had been rejected, dumped, ghosted, cut off, the addiction circuits didn't quiet down. They got louder. She calls it frustration attraction. The less available the person is, the more desperately your brain demands them. Like an addict whose supply just got cut. So at 2 a.m., when your rational brain is offline and your emotional brain is maxed out, these addiction circuits are running completely unchecked. You're not missing them. You're withdrawing from them. And your brain doesn't know the difference between craving a person and craving a substance. But here's the question nobody thinks to ask. Why does it get so much worse at night, specifically? Because what's happening at 2 a.m. isn't one thing. It's three separate biological emergencies happening at the exact same moment, and your body can't tell any of them apart. The first is the circadian crash. Your cortisol is bottomed out. Your prefrontal cortex is dark. Your brain is running in a state it was never designed to run in while conscious. The second is the withdrawal. Your dopamine system is screaming for a person your body has literally coded as a chemical dependency. And the third, the one nobody talks about, is the oldest alarm of all. For the entire history of our species, being alone in the dark meant you were about to die. Not metaphorically, actually die. The humans who felt that terror survived. The ones who didn't, something with teeth found them first. That alarm never got updated. It doesn't know about your deadbolt. It doesn't know about your alarm system. It just knows you're alone in the dark. And for 300,000 years, that was the last thing a person ever was. And here's the stat that puts it in perspective. A 2015 meta-analysis by Julianne Holt-Lundstad found that chronic social isolation carries the same mortality risk as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Your body isn't being dramatic. It's doing math. So that feeling at 2 a.m., it's not heartbreak. It's a survival alarm, a withdrawal response, and a neurological blackout stacked on top of each other, all screaming the same thing. Find someone. And your body can't tell which voice is which. And honestly, I think everyone's been there. That moment where you're holding your phone at some ungodly hour, thumb hovering over a name you know you shouldn't tap. You know it's a bad idea. Your body doesn't care. So be honest. What's the latest you've ever almost sent a text you would have regretted? Drop the timestamp in the comments. No judgment, just the time. I'm genuinely curious how late this goes. Here's the part that makes all of this make sense, and honestly, makes it a little heartbreaking. In 2017, anthropologist David Sampson tracked the sleep of the Hadzaza people in Tanzania, one of the last hunter-gatherer groups living without electricity. He monitored 33 people over 20 days, and in over 220 hours of recorded sleep, there were exactly 18 minutes where the entire group was asleep at the same time. 18 minutes total. Somebody was always awake, not because they had a guard schedule. Because of natural chronotype variation, the young ones stayed up late, the elders woke early. The overlap meant the group was never fully unconscious, never fully vulnerable. And this is where it starts being about you. Sleeping alone? That's not the human default. That's a cultural experiment, one that started in wealthy European households around the 1600s. Your body has been sleeping in groups for longer than language has existed, and you're asking it to do a thing it's done for a handful of centuries, and wondering why it panics. Oxytocin, the bonding chemical, the one released through close physical contact, directly suppresses your brain's threat detection system. It's basically a chemical all-clear signal. Stand down. You're safe. Without it, your brain stays on patrol all night, scanning, reaching, finding nothing. Your body isn't craving a person at 2 a.m. It's craving the safety signal that person's body provides. And there's a reason the craving gets specific around midnight. Your body isn't just lonely. It's running a very particular kind of search for the exact type of contact that releases the most oxytocin. If this is the kind of thing your brain needed today, you already know what to do. Your brain has one circuit for pain. It runs heartbreak and broken bones on the same wire. It doesn't know the difference, and it doesn't care that you think you're overreacting. For the entire history of our species, humans fell asleep hearing the breathing of the people they needed most. A partner, a parent, a child. Every night, the brain ran a quiet check. Are they here? And every night, the answer was yes. The amygdala quieted. The stress hormones dropped. Sleep came. Tonight, millions of people will lie in perfectly safe rooms, behind locked doors, in climate-controlled apartments, and their bodies will not feel safe. Evolution really didn't account for studio apartments, because the check still runs. Are they here? And the answer comes back, empty. That hollow ache in the dead hours, the one that makes you reach for a phone, scroll through old photos, almost send a message you'll hate yourself for in the morning. That isn't weakness. It's the most ancient part of you, doing exactly what it was designed to do, looking for the circle, looking for the warmth, looking for the breath beside you that means you'll make it through the night. You're not broken for wanting someone when the world goes dark. You're running ancient software in a modern room, and your body still hasn't figured out that the night isn't dangerous anymore. It just knows you're in it alone. I want to know, what does your brain do at 2 a.m.? Does it reach for the phone? Replay old conversations? Or just sit there in the quiet and ache? Tell me. I think more people need to hear they're not the only ones.